In the quiet little village of Whiskerburg, life was usually pretty predictable. Cats chased mice, birds sang, and everyone knew everyone. But one sunny morning, something very unpredictable appeared. Right in the middle of the village square, where the fountain usually bubbled, stood a door. A completely normal wooden door, just standing there. No walls, no house, just a door. And then, with a little creak, it opened all by itself. Time seemed to freeze. Why was this here? The villagers, being a curious bunch, couldn't resist. Old man Fitzwilliam, the baker, poked his head through first. He expected to see the other side of the square, but instead, he popped out on top of the clock tower. A moment later, Mrs. Higgins, who was just trying to cross the street, stepped through the door and landed in a tree full of startled squirrels. It was chaos. People were popping out on rooftops, inside kitchens, and even in the middle of the duck pond. Everyone was confused and a little bit soggy. Then, with a graceful leap, a flash of orange fur landed right in front of the strange door. It was Toaster Holmes, the village's cleverest and most unimpressed cat detective. He twitched his whiskers, yawned, and surveyed the scene. Another mystery, just what he needed before his morning nap. Toaster circled the door, his tail swishing like a question mark. He pulled out a comically large magnifying glass and peered at the doorknob. He sniffed the wood. He even gave it a little tap with his paw. Nothing. It was just a door. But this door was breaking all the rules of, well, doors. He imagined animated arrows pointing to the hinges and question marks popping up all around it. The door's logic was completely broken. It wasn't connected to anything, yet it connected to everything. This was a puzzle that needed more than just looking. It needed action, and maybe a little bit of cat-like courage. Without a second thought, Toaster took a running start and leaped straight through the doorway. Whoosh! He didn't land on the other side of the square. He landed in a fluffy pile of flour at the bakery. Before he could even shake it off, he jumped back through the door that had appeared right next to the ovens. Whoosh! Now he was in the quiet village library, surrounded by towering bookshelves. He leaped through another door that appeared between two history books. Whoosh! He was at the very top of the clock tower, with the whole village spread out below him. Whoosh! Now he was in a sunny forest glade. This was a wild door chase. The world zipped by in a blur of bakeries, libraries, and forests. Toaster was having the time of his 9 lives. After a dozen more jumps, Toaster skidded to a halt in a strange, shimmering space behind the door, and there, huddled in a corner, was a tiny glowing creature. It looked a bit like a firefly mixed with a ball of yarn. This was a portal sprite, a magical being that managed all the secret pathways in the world. But this one was young and looked very shy. It explained in a series of sad little squeaks that it had been practicing, making new shortcuts, and accidentally supercharged this one door. It just wanted to make it easier for friends to visit each other. But it made the door a little too powerful. It hadn't meant to cause chaos. It was just lonely. Toaster's detective gaze softened. The mystery wasn't malicious. It was just a magical mix-up. Now Toaster Holmes wasn't just a great detective. He was also a pretty handy cat. He saw the problem right away. The sprite's magic was too wild, too open. With a few gentle nudges and pats, Toaster showed the little sprite how to focus the magic. He nudged a glowing rune on the door frame, then tapped another. It was like tuning a magical radio. With a final satisfying click, everything snapped into place. The door hummed softly, its chaotic energy now calm and controlled. The door was fixed. It would now only open when someone truly needed a shortcut, and it would take them exactly where they wanted to go. The village of Whiskerburg erupted in cheers. The chaos was over, and they had a brand new, super convenient magic door. It was time for a celebration. The villagers threw a huge party in the square. There was music, dancing, and more snacks than even Toaster could eat. And speaking of snacks, Toaster quickly became the master of the magic door. Need more milk for the party? He'd just pop through the door and appear right in front of the fridge. Running low on fish crackers? Zip! He was at the general store and back in a flash. The portal sprite was happy too, surrounded by new friends. Toaster Holmes had not only solved the mystery, but it also made the village an even better, more magical place to live. As the sun set, a very full and very tired Toaster Holmes curled up in his favorite armchair for a well-deserved nap. The village was peaceful, the party was winding down, and his work was done. All was quiet, but then a tiny, almost silent creak came from the corner of the room. A different door, one that led to his closet, was opening just a crack, a strange, colourful light glowing from within. It seemed his day wasn't quite over yet. The next mystery was unlocked. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more of Toaster's adventures.